Hello. I am live officially, and somebody is here. I can see one person is here already. My hair is acting all static clingy first thing when I get on because welcome to winter. That's the way it is. Anywho, welcome to the live, you guys. Say hi in the chat so I know who's here because right now I have no idea who's here. Anyway, as usual, I'm doing the reading thing like a regular Monday or Friday shall be. So, yeah, that's what's going on. So, I figure while I wait for people to come in and get going on the chat and everything, I might share a little crazy, weird story that happened to me this week. Um, so I found a little baby finch and rescued it, like a wild finch that's outside. And I was totally not expecting this whatsoever. So this was because we're Friday today. Yeah, this was Wednesday night. Wednesday night, I rescued a little baby finch. I took my dog Shadow outside to go potty really quick before bed that night. And as we're coming back to the front door, he starts going absolutely like bananas, just crazy by the corner of the door. And I'm like, why is he going so nuts? Like, why is he flipping out? He never does this. So I kneel down, I look, and there's this little tiny animal like curled up in a little ball basically by the door. And so I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? So I take out my phone because it was dark to, shine a flashlight on it. And it was a little tiny birdie, a little tiny little finch, just like all snuggled up by the door and just like freezing its ass off because it's been like, I don't know, 10 degrees or under, something like that, like the entire time that it's been lately. And so I go inside and my mom is still up and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a little baby finch that's by the door. So we weren't going to like leave it like that, obviously. And hi, Melissa. I'm just sharing my little baby finch story right now while I'm waiting to see who comes into the chat, who comes into the live before I start getting questions and stuff. So I'm just sharing this little story about this finch that I found this week, this wild finch. And yeah, anyway, so we get a little box for it and we like set up some towels and everything. And I have my two parakeets here with me too, which was a good thing because then we could put some of the bird seed from my birds into the box for this finch. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing the story about the little baby finch because there is an update on that. But I'll share the story first, just for anyone who does come in or replays the video later. Basically, hi Seawin. I'm just sharing my finch story because I found a wild finch the other day and brought it in and took care of it for a little while. So yeah, anyways, we set it up in this little box and stuff, and it stayed warm, it stayed cozy overnight, and we wound up taking it to a wildlife rescue yesterday because I have parakeets. I know how to take care of domesticated birds, but I don't know how to take care of wild birds. And so we took it to the wildlife rescue, and they were just like, call back tomorrow, which would be today, to check in on him and see how he's doing. So I did that. And unfortunately, the sad news is he actually passed away. He died, which is the sad thing. And I guess they said that when the veterinarians looked at him, he was very skinny, like he hadn't really eaten anything. And he didn't really eat any of the bird food that I gave him anyways, even though it was available to him. But he wasn't really eating. And he was very skinny. And they ran some tests on him and stuff. And they think he may have gotten salmonella. So that may have been what happened because they asked me, they were just like, do you have like a bird feeder or anything like that? Like if the bird feeder isn't, properly sanitized and everything, they can get salmonella. And my mom doesn't have a bird feeder, but her neighbor has a bird feeder. And her neighbor is not exactly the most sanitary person anyway, because her neighbor had COVID as well. So we think it may have happened from like the neighbor's bird feeder. Yeah, I know it's so sad, but here the other thing is too about, birds in general, whether they're wild or not. When they get sick, they're very good or sick or injured. They're very good at disguising their symptoms. They're very good at just like acting normal and acting healthy. So it can be very hard to tell if a bird is sick or injured in general. But I think my dog is kind of like a little bird empath because he was going nuts the entire time this bird was here with us. And he doesn't do that with my birds. So I think he knew that there was something wrong with him. And then a couple years ago, I had a parakeet that passed away. It had like a tumor. And he literally brought me the bird, like in his mouth, showing me that she had passed away. And he was like really upset about it. So it's like, it's kind of weird. He's like a bird empath, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so crazy, crazy stuff there with the bird situation. I did look up things about like what a finch means, like spiritually coming across your path, and I guess it has to do with like family and friends and communication and like better days ahead or something like that. So I mean, I'll take those things as good signs, obviously, but I wish the bird had lived, obviously, but I am glad that I at least tried. I tried to save its life. It's a hard thing. But anyways, you two are here. I don't know if anybody else is going to be coming in yet or not. But I can kind of pull some cards just to see what the energy is like in general. A third person is coming now. So, and until my phone starts lighting up with anything happening activity wise, I can start pulling some stuff. That's awesome. I did that when I saw a fox in my neighborhood. Oh wow, a fox. Like that's even like more to deal with than just like a little tiny bird. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like animals are just drawn to me because um it was like a few years ago, like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. It was a summer that I was here visiting and I found a little baby bunny. It wasn't even full grown, it was a baby. And it had injured its leg. Its leg was broken. And we did the same thing. We took it in for the night and then we took it to the wildlife rescue the next day. But because, I mean, its leg looked really bad. Like it was really bad. You could kind of see the writing on the wall with that one already. And unfortunately, the baby bunny did not survive either. Nature is kind of a bitch like that, I guess you could say. So yeah, it's just been hard with that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely, I understand what you mean with like the fox and stuff. And we have a PayPal coming in, so somebody's asking about something. Let me double check that. But yeah, animals. It kind of has me have this idea that maybe I'll do like a pick a card coming up like within the next week or so. Maybe I'll do something like a what message does your pet want to say to you kind of thing, because so much of the time we would love to be able to hear like in English in human speak what our animals want from us, and that might be like a unique and different kind of reading to do to find that out. All right, Melissa, I see you with your venti. What's your question, lady? What's your question? So I know what I'm asking for here. Oh, and we got Venmo, so I know that must be you, Seawan. Okay. Your sister's dog. You're very close. Yeah, yeah. I mean, for sure. I think I'm definitely going to do that. As a pick a card for that. It's going to be like what's going on with your animals, kind of a thing. So, not you, not yet, really, because usually it's you who's on Venmo, and I'm pretty sure that was a Venmo sound. Let me look at Venmo and see who that was. Because I'm like, there was something that happened. Something went ding ding. Oh, never mind. That's Esperanza who ordered a grande. Okay, cool. But yep, I see it now. It was you. It was you. That's cool. All right. But Melissa, I did get yours first before I get to you, Esperanza. But either way, you're both on. So, what is your question? Is it about your sister's dog or is it something else? I just want to make sure I'm addressing the right question here before I start pulling away at cards and shuffling and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Okay, just checking. I figured it probably wasn't about that. but but yeah, I think I am going to do a pick a card about like animals and stuff because they are such a, big part of our lives and they're family members and stuff. So, what do your guides want to tell you? Okay, so kind of just like a general kind of thing. You want to know what they want to tell you or what messages they want you to know. Okay, sounds good. All right. What does Melissa need to know? What's going on? So, hey, Melissa's guides, wherever you are, come on in, hone in here, give us some feedback, let us know. Basically, you're staying away from love. I understand. I'm kind of in the same space right now, staying away from love because I'm just sick of boys. Not even men, because there are no men, they're boys. I'm just like, you know what? At this point, I'm probably never going to hear from him again. So it's like, I'm just like, I'm done. And there's no one I'm interested in. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's just going to be me and my dog and my birds. And that's going to be my life. So I hear you. I'm kind of just done with that. But let's see what we have for you, Melissa. Let's see what you need to know. Now, if love does come up, because that's always possible. Sometimes they pull a fast one on me and they're just like, we're going to talk to you about love anyways. If that happens, that's not me, that's them. That's saying, hey, we want to talk to you about love anyway. But whatever they want to say, whatever they want to say. If they talk about love, great. If they talk about your career, if they talk about friends, family, your sister's dog, whatever, we'll see what it is. All right. First thing we got is, I can kind of see why you don't want to talk about love. 3 of Swords. So we definitely have some heartache and pain that you must be going through here right now. So like I said, I understand. I'm right here with you. I'm feeling that. So I can understand why you may be staying away from love right now. You're like, nope, nope. So it seems like there's definitely some pain you're dealing with. But let's see what else we need to know. Let's see if we can transcend that pain. God knows I need to. So next week, I may actually go somewhere like in the area, not like, a reader online or anything, but I may actually physically go somewhere to get like a reading and like healing kind of session done because I'm just like, I need it. So, but let's see what else we got here for you. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, we also have Temperance, which is about patience, and which is also about things balancing out, basically there being a balance. So I feel like this is kind of what you need in order to overcome the heartache and heartbreak that you're going through. You need a little bit of balance and a little bit of patience. And I hate telling you this with the patience thing, but sometimes it's like, we can kind of get our own heart into a little bit of a tizzy and have a little bit of heartbreak, basically, because we're being impatient, and patience is exactly the thing that we need. That's what we're lacking. So it could be that you need a little bit of patience here, and that if you can find maybe more of an even place and balance happening with your emotions and the things happening in your life as a whole, whether it's love or something else, you might be able to, get rid of some of the heartache that's going on. Yes, you and me both. And that's the funny thing because, most of the people who, come to these readings and, who click with me and everything, we're usually all on like the same wavelength. So if you're struggling with patience, I hear you because I have the same freaking struggle. So, definitely there's some patience issues here that need to be taken care of. Hi, Rachel. Okay, cool. A Venti for you. Right now, just so you guys know, because, Heather, the other Heather, she's not in here right now. So I don't know if she's not checking in tonight or not. But right now I'm on Melissa, and then it'll be Esperanza, and then it'll be you, Rachel. So that's the order as of right now. Okay, let's see what else you need to know, Melissa. We also have the 9 of Swords, which I feel like kind of piggybacks here. on the heartache here that's happening, because the Nine of Swords is about sleepless nights. It's about anxiety. It's about stress. It's just about, not handling things very well, which, once again, if you're going through this, I get it. I hear you. I feel you. I'm in the same freaking place myself. So this is the kind of stuff that we need to have end for both you and me and anybody else. So let's see what else we have. We don't need those sleepless nights. We don't need that. If we're going to have sleepless nights, it better be for good reasons. We also have death. So it seems like there needs to be a transformation that needs to happen here. There needs to be an ending. Now, the positive thing is this is not the Ten of Swords. If it was like the Ten of Swords, I would be a little bit more concerned, because that would be a painful ending. But death in itself doesn't have to be a painful ending. It's kind of like, the ending of one thing going into the beginning of something new. It's a transitional kind of card is the way I take it. So it seems like you may be going through a transformation right now of some sort, that something is ending, yes, but it's ending because something better is probably coming. Something better is on the way. So that's a good thing. Especially if things are sucky right now, like, you want things to change. You want there to be a transition. You want things to get better. Oh my goodness, I just nearly dropped a whole bunch of cards. Drives me nuts when that happens. Yes, you feel a new cycle, which it is. Oh, speaking of which, and I'm not super familiar with it, you guys, because I know more about, the Western astrology, obviously, but it is the Lunar New Year. So maybe that's a part of the shift, is the Lunar New Year. I think we're going into the year of the ox, from what I remember. And Esperanza, you want general, whatever comes in that you need to know. Sounds good. Sounds good. We have the Queen of Swords. So this energy that's been going on with you lately, you've probably been a little bit of the Queen of Swords. And usually the Queen of Swords becomes the Queen of Swords because she has been through heartache. She's been through heartbreak. So she's a little bit of, the ice princess here. So don't be the ice queen. Don't ice people out. And I'm gonna bring up the L word. If this is dealing with love, don't be the ice queen to your person, because he's gonna feel that. And he's gonna need you to have that patience and that balance towards him, because he's not gonna want to come towards you if you're like basically ready to cut him, pretty much. So don't let that impatience turn you into like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Like, yeah. And I get it, because like I said, I'm literally feeling the same thing. I'm just like, whatever. Like, I spent an hour of my time pouring my heart out to somebody and silence. So I get it. I do. I totally get it. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. So there could be a new beginning. You had the Death card here. So you could have a new beginning coming out of that season of death, basically, which is very tangible. It's very real, because it is, a pentacle. So that makes it very real. It makes it very tangible, basically. So you can have that. That is definitely available to you, this fresh new beginning coming out of that. But I think it's going to be something good. I think it's going to be something positive. Let me pull a few oracle cards here for you, see what we get. What oracle deck do I want to go with is the question. And well, thank you. I'm glad I've been correct. I don't like being correct about, broken hearts, obviously, and anxiety and all this other kind of stuff. At first, as I was reading this, I'm like, am I reading for Melissa or am I reading for myself? Because like I said, I'm like, oh crap, I can so relate to this. Okay. I'm going to pull, well, since you did have, the Queen of Swords coming out there, she's kind of like the ice queen. We're going to go with some ice cream oracle here for you and see what comes out. See what you need to know. See what else we can get here. Yeah, don't cut them. Don't cut them. It can be tempting. I get it. It can be very tempting, but don't cut them. Okay. We have butter pecan, reason, market, sell. So I feel like with with this saying reason, market, sell, the first key word here that jumps out to me is reasoning. Because when we're reasoning in our mind, it's kind of like basically going into overthinking land. It's like you're trying to, I feel like you're almost trying to like sell yourself on some kind of idea that you're trying to rationalize something basically. So I think it's important to not rationalize things and to not get too much in your head about things, and not tap into reasoning, but tap into your gut, tap into that intuition, because whatever's going on up here, it's basically the wrong information. It's not what you need to be going with. You need to tap into your gut. You need to go deeper than just what's happening in your head. So try not to like get into that reasoning type of mind frame. Let's see what else we have here. We also have moon mist, astral travel, visions, and visitations. Ooh, that's really cool. And I feel like this card rarely ever comes out whenever I, use this deck. But I feel like this card is basically saying um, like you yourself maybe like astral traveling at certain points. I feel like especially this happens when we're dreaming, when we are sleeping at night. So if you go to sleep, and let's say you actually have a solid night's sleep and you do sleep for like a full 8 hours, and if you wake up in the morning and you still feel exhausted and you feel like you haven't slept at all, it's probably because you've been busy astral traveling. So you're not ever really resting is what it comes down to. So you could be doing a lot of that lately. That could be a lot of ways that you may be connecting with your person too at the same time. And he could also be visiting you, because it does say visitations, and it doesn't have to be from just him. It could be also maybe loved ones on the other side who have passed that are maybe like coming in and checking in on you. And with it saying visions here as well, I feel like that's, definitely tied to your intuition and your gut, that that's the stuff that you need to be paying attention to. So, really pay attention to what's happening on maybe that deeper kind of 5D level, because I feel like it's trying to break through into the 3D, because, like the 5D is great and everything, but we still do live this 3D experience. So we need to start bringing what's happening into this, into, this, the here and now, basically. So definitely pay attention to that. Your dreams are so intense. I get it. I get it completely. So, maybe if you don't already, maybe start writing down a dream journal. Start writing down whatever you can remember the second you wake up. Like even if you wake up in the middle of the night, just to like move or something like that, have it nearby so you can write down whatever you remember. So, I mean, I myself, I had like a super vivid dream earlier this morning, and I don't remember all of it now, obviously, but, and I don't know about you guys, but my dreams are way more vivid and way more intense when I'm on my period, and which is right now. So, yeah, so, that may be saying something there too. So, totally random. Um, you've also got key lime pie, good omens, luck, and blessings. So things may be difficult right now, but remember that luck is on your side, blessings is on your side. Good things are coming for you. Blessings, favor, abundance, it is coming. So you definitely can get past the difficulties that you're currently facing. Let me get one more for you. We have avocado, self care, beauty, and healing. So, probably the best thing you can do for yourself right now when you are feeling this other shitty stuff is to take care of yourself. Do that self care. And that looks different for everybody. So, however it looks for you, take care of that for you. If you need to go to like the salon or something, go get your hair done, go get your nails done. If you just want to have a day at home in your pajamas, binging on Netflix or something, do that. But, do whatever it is that you enjoy and do whatever it is that makes you feel good. And if you do that, it may help transcend some of this pain and some of this anxiety that you've been going through. And it can bring in those good lucky type of omens that you're waiting for. So hopefully that makes sense and helps. But I definitely understand. Like, I feel like you're on the same wavelength as me right now. So yeah, I totally get it. But anywho, let me check in on what's next happening here. All right. I think it was Esperanza who is next, because I remember the Venmo went off. So, yes. All right, Esperanza. And you wanted whatever spirit wants you to know as of this moment. And you're very welcome, Melissa. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. I just wanted to make sure I grabbed all my cards, right? Yes, we're good. Grabbed all the cards. Moved things out of the way. All right, Esperanza. Let's see what you need to know. Just general check-in here. Let's see what's going on. All righty. All right, we have the Eight of Swords. So we got a little bit of a mental prison thing going on here. Hi, Majestic. Welcome to the live. But anyways, yeah, we've got a little bit of a mental prison happening here. So yeah, this unicorn basically is kind of has itself in its own little trap. We have the hooves all tied up here in the bandages, and it's wearing a little blindfold, and it's surrounded by all these swords. But this unicorn could easily walk through those swords and carry on with its day and carry on with its life if it really wanted to, but its mind frame is what has it stuck here. So similar to me and Melissa in a way, you may be kind of stuck in some mental strongholds here. I feel like overall that's kind of happening right now for people collectively. Like, people are just kind of like stuck in their heads. So you may be a little bit stuck in your mind with a few things right now, just a little bit trapped in the way that you're thinking about things. And usually when we're thinking about things in this way, it's usually not like positive, happy-go-lucky kind of thoughts. It's kind of blah kind of thoughts, basically. So yeah, so there may be like a little mental prison here that you have yourself stuck in about certain situations that you need to break through in. But let's see what else we have here so we can find out more about this little mental prison and maybe how you can break out of that. Is this Gemini? Is what Gemini? There are lots of Geminis out there in the world. And yes, that does make sense for you, Esperanza. I get it. Like I said, it's going around. There's definitely like, I don't know, like this thing of like everybody kind of like having themselves stuck in their head kind of a thing, type of thing going around. And it's frustrating. We're all kind of experiencing it. But let's see what else we have. You've all, well, quite the opposite of the Eight of Swords. You got the Four of Wands. So I feel like the thing that you're probably having like this anxiety and this anguish over in your head is probably over your person. And I know your situation, I'm familiar with it. So, I know that it's a complicated, not exactly easy situation, but I do believe that, what you want, this ultimate happily ever after ending that you're desiring, that you want with this person, I do believe it's available to you. But there obviously needs to be a bridge here, because you can't really go from this to this. Like these don't necessarily connect to one another. There has to be like a path, a bridge here to go from one to the other. So I do feel like there's a little bridge that needs to kind of arrive to get to that point. But I do believe that this happily ever after that you're desiring with this person, it can happen. It is available, that happily ever after. But let's see if we can figure out the bridge. Maybe we'll get some cards here for that. But that union, 1111, 4 wands, that's always a good thing when that comes through. So the potential is always there. I think the question is, do we tap into that, We have the 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords is definitely about like fighting through things. It's about persistence. It's about being consistent about things. So I feel like this is the part where it's like, this is the bridge, because, it's going to be very hard to, in a sense, like break out of this and then just like leap to this pretty much. So it's going to take work. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take persistence. And I think the biggest thing in terms of persistence, it's not necessarily like what you do dealing with that person. It's not necessarily what you say. It's more so about like your mind. It's more so about renewing your mind frame. And it's about like, it's like exercising your brain in a sense, like retraining it to not be stuck in mind frames that don't serve you, and to be free of those type of things, to think of better things, to be filled with more hope, more joy, more peace, kind of just like going with the flow kind of stuff and not getting overwhelmed by things. But it takes work to get there. It's not something that happens overnight. It's not easy. It takes work to renew your mind, basically. So I always tell people, if you're working on renewing your mind, if you want to think better thoughts and kind of, kick this kind of horrible mental prison type of thinking to the curb, I always tell people, check out Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer, because it's literally about fighting a battle that is going on in your head and how to overcome that. And, think better thoughts, basically. Think healthy thoughts, not self-defeating thoughts, not thoughts that are going to, impose harm on you, pretty much. Yeah, going with the flow. And it's hard. Like, it's funny because going with the flow is supposed to be easy and natural, and I think it is once you get into it. But it's like getting into going with the flow is sometimes the hardest part. And then sometimes it's like something may come along in life that may trip you up and kind of like knock you out of the flow, and then you have to like find your way back in again. But I feel like once you're there, it's actually pretty easy to do. But it's just a matter of getting in it and staying in it. And once again, 3 of Swords, we got the 3 of Swords coming out again. So there's definitely some heartache, some pain going on. I feel like this heartache and pain is exactly where, this overthinking kind of mentality is coming in on. So, yeah, I feel like that's definitely going around you guys, is the heartache and overthinking stuff. And I don't feel like the heartache is necessarily like what your person is doing or what they're saying or what they're not doing, because sometimes it's just that they're not doing anything. So I don't think it's necessarily them. I just feel like it's our own thoughts. It's our own mind that is kind of reacting to what they do or don't do that brings on that heartache and that pain, which is totally unnecessary. Like, we're the ones breaking our own hearts, basically. And we need to be nicer to ourselves. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So I do feel like on the inside, you do have this amazing and beautiful Queen of Pentacles inside of you. Someone who is the mother and the lover, and, she can take care of her business, and she can take care of her kids, and she can take care of her man, and she can take care of all these different things, balance it all together, basically. So you do have like this powerful warrior of a woman inside of you. But it's really hard to be a Queen of Pentacles when, you're nursing heartache, when you're, kind of boxed in with your thoughts and everything. So, this is definitely a goal of where to get. And, the Queen of Pentacles is definitely someone who's going to be sitting here with the Four of Wands. I'll keep my thoughts in check. Yes, it's tricky. It's hard to do because, like, a lot of the times, we'll think to ourselves, "Oh yeah, my thoughts are fine. Like, I'm good," but it can be tricky. We kind of got to really think about what we're thinking about. It's like, is what I'm thinking about actually beneficial to me, or am I hurting myself? Let's see what else we have. We have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is kind of like the genie in a bottle kind of card here. You can basically manifest whatever it is that you want to come true in your life. You can make your dreams come true. You can have whatever happen that you want to, but you kind of got to be your own genie in a bottle here and, rub your own little lamp and ask yourself the question, what is it that you want? And you can do it. Nobody else can provide that but you. But the Nine of Cups is just, one pentacle away from that 10, or one pentacle, one cup, pentacles, cups, whatever. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, they're all good. But it's literally just one away from being that. So it's not like, you're so many cups away. You're just one cup away. So you are closer than you know. You're closer than you think. But I feel like the better your mind frame is, the closer you're going to get to turning that 9 of Cups into a perfect 10. Let me get one more for you. And we have the 3 of Cups, which is interesting because I kind of take this a couple different ways, especially for you specifically, since I know your situation. I know that there's complicated situations happening on both sides. So I do feel like it definitely is kind of symbolic of that. But at the same time, this card can also be about celebration. So I feel like, these unicorns do look pretty happy here. They do look like they're celebrating and they're toasting. They're saying cheers pretty much. So I do feel like there can be celebration to come out of all these complications that are going on. Once again, it's probably not going to happen overnight. It's probably going to take some time. There's probably going to be a transformation that's going to have to happen here. But it can definitely happen. That's for sure. You're very welcome. I'm glad that it was helpful. And, if you needed to hear it, you needed to hear it. I completely get it 100%. So yeah, there's definitely some funky stuff going on in the air lately, you guys. I hope it clears up for all of us because it's definitely been weird. Okay, so let me go back to PayPal because I know somebody else came in after Melissa on there. Yes, Rachel. You're very welcome, Esperanza. All right, and I think, Rachel, you mentioned your question up there earlier. Let me scroll back and check. Your Venti usual love energy check. Alrighty, sounds good. For Rachel. All right, let's see what's happening with love for Rachel. What's going on? Let's see what's happening, you guys. Good stuff here. We gotta transmute some stuff. Make things better. All right, Rachel. First card out, we have the Emperor. Ooh, wow. Okay, so there's definitely a chance that you could be dealing with a dude who is the Emperor. And the Emperor, he is the embodiment of all the kings, the King of Pentacles, Wands, Cups, Swords, the whole shebang. So basically a dude who is definitely in his power. He feels confident. He feels good. He's got all those qualities going on. So that's a very positive thing. It seems like you're dealing with someone who is an emperor. So that's far better than a page. Far better than a knight. Let's see what else we find out here. What's happening with this emperor? What's happening with Rachel? What else do we need to know? we have the Six of Cups. So, this Emperor may be feeling a little nostalgic for you right now. He may be thinking of times of the past connected to you. If you don't have like a huge, ginormous past dealing with this person, it could simply imply like past life type of energy that you guys have been connected together in past lives. Or it could be both. It could be a lot of stuff that's happened in this lifetime and lifetimes in the past. So he's definitely in a nostalgic place. And it's a pretty sweet card because if someone is feeling nostalgic and reminiscing on the good old days, they're probably reflecting on good things, on good times about the past. Let's see what else we have going on. Don't drop all the cards. Don't drop all the cards. All right. We also have. Did I grab two? No, I grabbed one. We have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is about a passionate and fiery new beginning. So it seems like this Emperor is definitely in the place of wanting some fire, some passion, some heat. I know a lot of the times, um, the Ace of Wands can also be interpreted as a phallic symbol, and it can, sometimes imply a one night stand. But since he is being the emperor here, I don't feel like he is, in like a super one night stand type of mode, especially if he's feeling nostalgic too. So I don't feel like he's feeling that kind of a vibe, like a hit it and quit it kind of thing. But I do feel like he does want passion. Like, he doesn't want to just like sit down and talk, basically. So he does want passion. He does want heat. He does want you. He desires you. That's for sure. Oh, geez, I got one that just flipped out right now. I barely even shuffled. Actually, two that just came. No, three. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess I'm giving you all three of these. Okay, so you also have the Ace of Swords that just popped out. And the Ace of Swords is about, coming to you basically with his thoughts, with his ideas, with his truth, basically. So it seems like this Emperor wants to come to you with passion and desire, and also with a truth that he wants to share with you. So, once again, I don't feel like, it's just like, a one night stand kind of thing. I do feel like he wants more than that because we do have that Ace of Swords that is coming through here. And someone who wants to share their truth with you usually isn't just about to hit it and quit it. So that's a good thing. I do feel like with the next two cards that you have here, you got the Tower, and I feel like there has either been a Tower moment that's already happened or it's going to happen, because I feel like this Emperor, like, he probably wasn't an Emperor until this happened, whatever this Tower moment is, which probably triggered him to feel that nostalgia, to remember those good old days, to remember those good times with you in the past, and probably triggers him to want to come forward to you with truth and with passion. And usually someone doesn't feel motivated to do those things unless there's been like this Tower moment, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. That doesn't mean that something horrible happened, but it does imply that there's probably been like a huge aha kind of moment, an epiphany. So I feel like this is something that has either already happened, he could be experiencing it now, or it could be something that's going to happen. But there's definitely this Tower moment that's happening. And usually when that happens, we can also go into hermit mode after that happens, because it's like we need that time to process it, basically. We need that time to, understand exactly what it is that we have been feeling and dealing with, experiencing and going through. So I feel like that Tower moment has, triggered that hermit in him, which will ultimately get him to come forward to you in truth and in passion. So, that's all really good stuff. Let me get one more from the tarot here, and then I'll pull some oracle cards. But there's definitely, like, that's a transformation all in itself. So yeah, everybody seems to be transforming lately in one way, shape, or form. Maybe it's the Lunar New Year. I don't know. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We have the Chariot, And the Chariot is all about that forward movement. It's about taking action, and it's also about taking action and beating down your adversaries. So if there's any competition, if there's anything like that standing in the way, any obstacles, any challenges, those are just knocked right down, bulldozed right over, and run over in order to make happen what needs to happen. So I feel like, once again, this emperor basically, like I said, he may not have been an emperor at first, but I feel like he's, becoming one, and it's happening out of that tower moment. He's spending time in hermit mode, trying to understand and process that tower moment. And, it's ultimately going to get him to hop into his chariot, knock down that competition, and speak his truth to you with passion and desire. So that's all super, super positive stuff. Much better than some of the other things that have already come out tonight with the overthinking stuff. Let me get some oracle cards here for you. See what we got here. Let's get some lovey love stuff. Lovey love. Alrighty. All right. What does Rachel need to know in love? Piggybacking on what we already got here from the tarot. We have consistency. I promise to make it all up to you. So I feel like if this dude has not been consistent with you in the past, that's going to change because he's going to start to become consistent. And an emperor is consistent. Like, he's not going to flake off. He's not like some knight who's going to like come in and retreat and go away again. He's an emperor. He's got a freaking kingdom he has to manage and take care of, basically. So he's going to make that up to you. And I feel like his consistency is going to come through once again in that passion and in that truth that he's going to express to you. So he's definitely going to express that and continue to uphold it, basically. Not going to go back and forth. We also have fertile. I want you to be the parent of my child. So I feel like this person definitely sees like creating and growing a family with you, which makes sense for an emperor. An emperor, kind of wants to have it all. It's his kingdom, basically. So, this could be that, he wants to like actually have kids with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be, it could, family is family. It could be just like the two of you together and maybe you have animals as your kids. It could be, it could look like a whole bunch of different things. But bottom line is he wants to like create this foundation with you to have a family of some sort, however that family looks. I feel like that family is going to be whatever it is that is the dream for the two of you. But, and also with fertile, I feel like that also kind of just implies the fact that you guys are fertile, maybe not necessarily just in terms of physically, but it's like you're fertile in terms of just like growing this relationship, growing this connection, growing this bond, so that way then it's like, even when you guys are around other people, people are going to like see you guys and they're going to be like, what is it that they have that makes it work so well for them? So people are going to see how just like fruitful and fertile your relationship is, how it's good. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing too. Let's see what else comes through. We have unconditional. I'll always forgive you. So, that's definitely a positive thing. If you're not forgiving one another in your connection, in your relationship, then how can you possibly expect to have a healthy and whole relationship that is going to not only survive, but thrive? So I do feel like this person loves you unconditionally. And it's like, no matter how many different ways you may hurt him or upset him or get on his nerves or vice versa, no matter how much he pisses you off or whatever, you guys are always going to forgive each other and find ways to kind of just like laugh at each other once again and enjoy life with one another. So that's really good. Let's see what else we have here. We have, you've made me feel alive. Thank you, joy. So I feel like one of the things that this person may realize coming out of the tower moment here is just how much you do bring them joy, how much, you make this huge impact, this huge difference on their lives, that you bring joy to them and that you make them feel good and happy. And, in places where they may have kind of felt dead on the inside in a sense, or they may have felt just like blah or kind of bored with their life, you kind of help like mix it up and breathe life back into it, make them feel alive. Let me get one more lovely little card here for you. And we have shocking. I'm amazed by your beauty. So he's definitely amazed by your beauty. And that's probably just like another way that you have kind of like come in and, made things alive for him again, is it's like, it's so shocking to him. And, going through shocking experiences or feeling those kinds of feelings can bring on a tower moment, because you're like so shocked and so amazed by how somebody makes you feel. It can also almost be like earth shattering, like an emotional earthquake in a sense, but it's a good one. It's a good kind of earthquake. So either way, I mean, whoever you're connected to, like, he's in a good spot right now. So there definitely seems to be like something good going on here. So that's a positive thing. So hopefully that helps you, Rachel. That's good. That's good stuff. So let me double check and see if anything else is happening here on the phone. Although I don't think there is as of the moment. Oh, I'm like, who's that? Never mind. That's a private reading that I got money for. I'm like, I don't even have that offer right now on a live. I'm like, who is that? And never mind. That was something else completely. Yes. Okay. So we're all good right now on paid readings, unless somebody else comes in with something. Guatam, I don't even know if I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry. Just so you know, I mean, I'm willing to answer your question about getting a job, but I am only doing paid readings right now. So, yes, thank you, Siwen. So basically, if you're new here and you would like to get a paid reading, the instructions are in the description below. So basically, my PayPal and my Venmo information are there, so you can pay through either one of those options. And you can either order a tall, which is oracle cards only, a grande, which is tarot cards only, or a venti, which is a combination of both oracle and tarot. So you can order any of those, and they're $10 or under, depending on what you order. So that's kind of the way of it and how it goes. And you're very welcome, Rachel. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And there's just 3 of you in here right now. So I don't know if Guatam, I don't know if I feel like I'm, oh, no problem. But now you know. So that's kind of how it's going. I would love to be able to sit here and do just like free readings for, for everybody. But then I'm usually on here for like 4 or 5 hours and then I'm completely drained and I get no compensation for it, which, is not fair to me in a lot of ways. And I'm like, there's got to be like that even energy exchange. So I try to keep things pretty reasonable and keep it at like, $10 or under, just because it's not so crazy. And it's like, if you would order that at Starbucks, then there's no reason you can't order this here, kind of a thing. But anywho, I can pull a few cards just to see what's going on generally until something goes on here on my phone, until somebody else comes in with something. What cards do I want to pull from? I'm going to move some stuff out of the way so I can pull some more cards. Don't want them to fall down everywhere either. Yeah, I was like even debating. I'm like, do I even want to go on tonight? Like, there was no fight with my mom or anything, so I knew I could. But I've just been in such like a weird place myself. I was like, Do I want to go on? I'm like, no, go on. You made a promise. You made a commitment, Heather. If it's going to help others, it's going to help you too. So here I am, obviously. Um, okay. I think I don't know why, I'm just going to randomly pull some cards from Amira's Love Oracle and see what's going on in love for who's in here right now from Amira's Love Oracle. Let's just see. I'm just kind of curious, just nosy. Let's see what we got here, you guys. What's going on in love? Just in general. For whoever's in here, for whoever comes along, for whoever checks out this video. What's going on in love? We have travel. So it seems like somebody around here could be traveling, basically. Maybe you're going to be going somewhere or someone's going to be coming to you, but it seems like travel is in the forecast, which is funny because I feel like a lot of people are not actually traveling right now because of the way the world is with COVID and everything. But I mean, I guess it's still possible. I mean, people are still getting on planes, even if it's not that popular to do right now. And I mean, I traveled here, but that was back in November. So there could be some traveling coming up soon. You did a few weekends ago. You went to Colorado. Oh, I love Colorado. Colorado is awesome. Where did you go in Colorado? When I was younger, my family and we used to go to Breckenridge like every spring break to do like a family ski trip. And I know so many people in Colorado. I know people in Denver, Breckenridge, Grand Junction, Durango, so many different places. Colorado Springs. Oh yeah, Colorado Springs is great too. But yeah, Colorado is really pretty. I love it out there. That's another reason why I kind of want to wait until like the weather improves before I do drive back to LA, because I really want to drive the northern route. And when you drive the northern route, you go through Colorado, and it's just like, it's so amazing. Yeah, Breckenridge is awesome. Yeah, we used to go there all the time. Like we have these old home videos on VHS tapes of just like doing stuff in Colorado. I remember one year, our family friends, like they have a daughter who's like the same age as me, and I think we were like maybe 8 or 9 years old, and they had a hot tub, and we were just like, let's go lay down in the snow in our swimsuits and then go hop in the hot tub and we'll make ourselves warm and we'll videotape it and we'll send it into America's Funniest Home Videos. Like, we were so weird. Oh man. But yeah, anyways, so maybe this card was for you, Seawin. Maybe it was just verifying the fact that you traveled. Maybe it's verifying the fact that I'm technically traveling right now, even though I've been here since November. But travel's definitely a thing. Let's see what else is going on. We have gifts. So whenever I see this card, I usually think more so of like spiritual gifts than physical gifts. Although, I guess maybe if someone has given you a physical gift lately, it could just be confirming that too. My mom's birthday was earlier in the week and I gave her a gift. So it could be that, but I feel like this is more so about spiritual gifts and just, verifying the fact that we all have them. We all have spiritual gifts. We're all here on this earth for a reason. We all have something unique and different and special to give to the world and to help our fellow man, help our fellow human being out when it comes to things in life. So that's definitely good. Kind of funny. I pulled out a love deck and we're not getting anything about love. We're just getting other general messages, but that's okay. Whatever is meant to come out is going to come out. Let's see what else we get here. We have family. So it seems to be like a time of spending time with family right now. I guess in a sense, this resonates for me because I'm staying with my mom right now. But yeah, there definitely seems to be a time of spending time with family, spending time with loved ones. I feel like family in general has kind of been a highlight of people's lives over the past year as it is because of the pandemic. People are realizing a lot of like what matters the most in life and, checking in on loved ones, making sure that people are okay and that kind of thing. and Mercury is in retrograde, which is funny because not tied to family, but even for myself, like a few weeks ago, like a couple weeks ago or so, I had like this old friend reach out to me who I haven't spoken to in like 6 years or something like that. And she reached out to me because, she knows I'm in LA. Like, usually, I'm not right now, but she knows that's where I live. And she knew how bad COVID was out there. So she wanted to make sure I was okay. And I basically wasn't dying of COVID or anything. So, yeah, so people are checking in on each other. Bottom line, people want to make sure that they're okay. We also have dating, which once again in these days is kind of interesting because it's like, how do you really do this? How do you really do dating in a pandemic? I don't know. It kind of goes right over my head. I have no idea. But there could be some dating, on the horizon, even if it's not in traditional terms, like on this card, clinking wine glasses or whatever. It could be a Zoom date or something. But, there could be a date coming up here for somebody, which is exciting. Maybe a Valentine's date. Valentine's Day is coming up in just a couple of days. Speaking of which, anybody got any plans for Valentine's Day? Same. And what is considered, I know, like what is considered dating? I don't even know. I feel like people don't even, like, no one does really date anymore, do they? It's kind of just like all hooking up. And, call me old fashioned, but I don't want to just like hook up. Like, I want like a relationship. Like, you gotta catch my interest here. Hi, Jamila. Nope. LOL. Yeah. Like, who knows how to date now? I don't know. It's like nobody does that. Nobody courts. Nobody dates. Yeah. Well, and you know what? That's the thing. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Part of it is I feel like you can partially kind of blame it on like technology and social media and that kind of thing. Like, everybody is so short attention span. It's, swipe left, swipe right, swipe kind of thing. So it's hard to like make a genuine connection out of that, obviously. But at the same time, people can still be consciously aware too, and don't have to necessarily engage with that short term kind of behavior. So, to each his own. Hi, USUI, Usui. I'm not exactly quite if I'm saying this right or whatever, but hi, welcome to the live. And thank you, Siwan. Thank you for the thing about the paid readings. Yes, information for paid readings should be in the description below. So if you're interested in one, my PayPal, my Venmo is there. Right now, I'm just pulling general messages from Amira's Love Oracle, whatever is going to come through. But if you do want a reading, if you have a question, that's the best way to go about it. We also have, oh boy. Oh, all right, you guys. So here's the confirmer, the card of confirmation, basically. If you're dealing with a particular person and you're really annoyed with them and you don't like them, but you love them, kind of a thing, chances are they may be your twin flame. So, yeah. So anyways, here's your card to confirm that. One of the most divine and yet frustrating connections on the planet. So chances are, whoever's watching this, you're probably dealing with a twin flame dynamic. I'm sorry. I feel you. But yes, I get it. But maybe you need to go on some dates with your twin flame if your twin flame knows how to date. Most of them don't. My twin sucks and I don't want him. I hear you. Well, I mean, really, if you think about it, we're kind of lying when we say we don't want them. We do want them. The thing that we don't want is their behavior, or the things that they're either doing that are upsetting us, or the things that they're not doing that are upsetting us. It's those things that we want to change. But I think we all can be pretty honest that it's not like the person themselves that we have the issue with. So, yeah, I hear you though. I get it. Unfortunately, that card came out, so we can't escape these people. It's like that Enrique Iglesias song, Escape. Maybe that's what I should do. I should pull one of my song cards and see what comes out. I'll do that next. And we have a fair male. So I don't know if you guys are dealing with someone who's a fair male, but there's a fair male that's involved, or maybe there's a fair male watching the live right now. Ooh, I don't know. There's a fair male though. There's a fair male involved. So a little bit of a characteristic there. Maybe he has blue eyes or hazel eyes or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, that would totally be for you, Seaman. A ginger with blue eyes. It doesn't get more fair than that. Basically, he shouldn't go in the sun. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, this guy, his hair isn't red, but it's almost kind of like an auburn color. Like it's brown, but it kind of has like a reddish tone to it in a sense. But he definitely has blue eyes on the card. So that's just funny. I love it when stuff like that happens because it's like, there's your reminder. Can't escape it. And because you are dealing with a twin flame, there is a lot of passion there. I mean, that is one of the perks, at least, to dealing with a twin flame is, there is no shortage of passion. Sometimes the passion can be what gets you into trouble and it can cause problems because, it's like they'll come in, they'll get their thing, and then they'll leave kind of a thing. But there is definitely passion. There's definitely heat. There's definitely desire. I mean, twin flame sex is better, basically like the best kind of sex that there is on the planet. It's better than a soulmate. It's definitely better than a karmic. So there's a lot of passion going on here. That's for sure. Let me get one more from this deck, and then I think I'm going to pull a song card because now I'm just curious. That's all I can think of. You're laughing so hard, right? Well, I'm glad I'm bringing a comedy show. Maybe that's my next gig, is doing like twin flame comedy or something. I don't know. That would be a very interesting thing to do. But, you got to laugh during these things because it's like if there's no humor, if you can't laugh at yourself and you can't laugh at your connection sometimes, like we seriously are going to lose our freaking minds and go nuts. And we have gossip. So, one of the challenges could be maybe somebody's talking about the situation outside of you guys. So yeah, and gossip could be for a bunch of different reasons. I know if some people are like in a third party type of situation, that's definitely like feeding ground for gossip. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be for third party situations. It could be just like maybe two different people who are very different, kind of a thing. It's like, oh well, you're like upper class and he's like lower class, and you two should not associate, kind of a thing. It could be stuff like that. It could be just a bunch of different reasons. It's like high school drama, like high school shit. It's like Mean Girls or something. So either way, gossip, don't worry about it. Don't worry about drama. Don't worry about what other people say. What other people say about you is none of your business anyway. Where's my song deck? Here it is. My own little songs. What I really need to do is I need to actually make a real deck, not like this little flimsy, I wrote these on these cards things myself. You're going to Venmo me a tip. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm glad it's resonating. So, I mean, if it feels personal, then it's probably for you, Seawan. I know there's a couple of other people in the live as well. So, I mean, it could be resonating for them too. I don't know, but I'm just kind of doing this for whoever comes into the live or whoever even watches this maybe later on a playback or something. So let's see. I'm going to get a little song card to see, if your person were to dedicate a song to you on the radio, what would they want to dedicate? What song do they want to say or sing to you right now? We've got What's Left of Me by Nick Lachey. It's kind of a sad kind of song, kind of a downer. So your person could be feeling kind of just depressed and sad, and kind of questioning really what is left of them in a sense. So they may not exactly be in the best place, which, if they're being an annoying twin, that's probably why, because they're probably not in a very good place. So they're kind of singing their song of sadness right now, unfortunately. Let me clear some of these cards out of the way. I've only been on for like an hour. It's kind of a slow night. I may actually wrap it up kind of early on that note tonight, you guys, just because it is kind of slow right now, for one. And two, on a totally not reading, not anything other note, this random cousin, like I don't even know who this guy is, but this random cousin of mine who lives in Sweden wrote my mom a letter, and he sent me like a message request on Facebook, and my mom wants to like sit down and like look over this guy and look at his Facebook page and stuff and figure out who this person is. So if anything, I may do that with her later tonight, because I have no idea who this guy is, but he's like some random far off cousin that lives in Sweden, and he wants to know about his relatives here in the United States. And I'm like, what? Why do you want to know about us? We're screwed up. We're Americans. We got problems. So yeah, I may wind up doing that with her since it's kind of slow, but oh, that was Instagram that lit up. I'm like, something lit up. Did someone send me something? No, that was Instagram. So, before I do end things, though, since I will give things a couple more minutes, just in case anybody else does come in, I'll pull a couple cards from the Sacred Creators Oracle, because, it's my new deck, so it's kind of fun. And just to kind of get maybe like a little general message for us to know for the weekend until Monday. So, you want to do a paid one, Seawin? You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to, that's cool too. I think I'm still going to pull some of these cards anyway, just because it's good to. But what do you want? A tall, a grande, a venti? And what's the question? Let's see. Meanwhile, I'm just going to shuffle these cards. Shuffle. And let's see kind of here what comes out for what we need to know for the weekend. We have the good kind. So I feel like this is just basically a reminder that whoever is here, whoever's watching this reading, remember that you are the good kind. Like, you're good people, basically. You're good. You're good, you're good, you're good. Don't doubt that. Don't doubt your self-worth, your value. Don't beat yourself up into thinking that, you're just not it, because you are it. You are good. You are the good kind of person, good kind of soul. We've also got change maker, make waves. So maybe mix it up this weekend. Do something different. Do something you normally wouldn't do, because this is about being a change maker. And, it's easy to not make waves, I guess you could say, but don't be afraid to make waves. Don't be afraid to kind of, push limitations and do something different. Mix it up. So be a change maker. And I bet that was you, Seawin. Double check here. Hello, Venmo. There you are. All right, we got a Venti. Why do you keep crying during the new moon? Interesting. I cried during January and February's. Oh, wow. That is really interesting. Okay. Let's see. Let's see why. Let's find out. All right. Move things out of the way here. Got cards everywhere. I'm sorry, Shadow. I'm like pushing cards over by his butt, and he's like, ah. Yeah, that is strange. The only thing I can think of, like right off the bat, is if it's happening every month, it's happening at the new moon. I know sometimes like women's cycles can be connected to the moons. I mean, are you PMSing during that time? Is maybe that why? Maybe it's like hormonally connected. That's the first thing that I thought of, but I don't know what your cycle is. So, if that's not it, then maybe it is something else. But let's see why you're crying and getting all emotional and everything. We have the Three of Cups. So, the first thing that I'm thinking here is, are you worried about a third party situation? Is there some kind of issue there maybe where maybe you're afraid of, we were just talking about your twin. Um, you did this month. I don't. It could be connected. It could be amplified because of those hormones. That's for sure. But I know you're talking about your twin and how you can't stand him, how you can't deal with him right now. So, you know, oh, there is a third. Well, then that explains it. So I feel like your hormones. Number one, your hormones are probably just amplifying everything, whether it's good or bad. It's amplifying stuff, and it's probably residual stuff from a third party situation that's going on that seems to like be brought up during the new moon. And if it's being brought up, it's being brought up for a reason. Like, obviously, there's something there that needs to be dealt with. Let's see what else we get. Which also probably makes sense with that gossip card that I saw that came out earlier, too. People gossiping about the third party thing. Because like I said, that's like a more likely reason that a gossip card would come up with. Oh, we got the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is basically about the journey itself. It's pretty much like you and your ginger sitting here in the boat. And then here's, God in the back with the oar. And he's rowing you guys across this big body of water of life, basically, to the other side. And, this is the journey. And this is not a speedboat. This is a rowboat. So it's going to go very slow, unfortunately. I wish it was a speedboat. I wish it was a big freaking yacht, but it's not. And it's going to take time. But I think this definitely is a reminder that you are on a journey. And I feel like sometimes when we're on this journey, it can be draining and it can be exhausting and it can just be this emotional toll. So I feel like there are times where you guys are out in the middle of this body of water, basically, and you feel kind of lost out there in that body of water. And there are just days on the journey where you're just like, I'm tired of sitting in this boat. I'm tired of being in the middle of water. I want to be on land, kind of a thing. So it winds up becoming overbearing and overwhelming, and you wind up crying. And it's almost like you're adding to the water, in a sense, to the water with your tears. So I feel like there's some of that going on. My ginger went through a huge spiritual awakening last summer. Isn't that a good thing, though? I mean, if he went through a spiritual awakening, I would feel like that should bring you guys closer. That should be a positive thing, you would think. If anything, get things closer to that third party being extinguished, basically. I mean, you're lucky that yours is even like that. I mean, mine's like spiritually off. Like, like basically his spiritual awareness is, I was able to drive across country with a trailer attached to my Honda Civic, and I'm okay. And that's about the extent of it to him. Like, otherwise he's kind of like, no, I don't really know about that. I'm deaf to it, kind of a thing. So, oh well, I don't care. That's fine. That's fine if he's like that. But let's see what else we have. What else is going on with these tears? We have the King of Swords. So I feel like your ginger, I almost want to say the King of Gingers. Now that's literally all I'm going to think of now whenever I see you, Siwin, is like you have the King of Gingers. So your King of Gingers is the King of Swords. And, the King of Swords, he is very pragmatic. He's very logical. He is very much so up in his head with his thoughts. And, in some ways that's a good thing, but at the same time, it's like his own knowledge in a sense can be a tool against him because he can come off very icy. And that may be the problem here is, this third party situation may make him come across being kind of cold and kind of icy towards you, which, like I said, when these new moons seem to roll around, it's like, your subconscious is what's ultimately dealing with it. Like you on the surface, most of the time you may feel okay and you may feel good and you may feel confident about things dealing with him, but there's stuff that you're still dealing with subconsciously. And I feel like when those new moons roll around, it's like it's jarring you awake saying, hey, you're not okay. Like you think you're okay on the surface, but there's a whole ton of shit under there, like an iceberg basically, and you need to deal with this because you still feel hurt from the third party and you're tired of being on the journey and he's acting icy towards you and you don't like it. So I feel like there's just like stuff that you have going on there on a subconscious level that seems to come out. And, like your subconscious wants you to deal with this, which is why you keep crying whenever this happens with these new moons. And I get that because I've been dealing with some subconscious stuff lately too, not in the same way, but mine has come out from different things that I've been dealing with being here while I've been at home, like connected to my mom and stuff like that. And, those are things that I've needed to deal with too. So we've all got that like subconscious stuff going on that we don't even realize is kind of like singing a song, like a very slow hum underneath like all the craziness that we have going on consciously. It's like a subliminal message or something. We've also got the Page of Wands. So, the Page of Wands is, someone who does have passion, who does have desire for you and everything, which I feel like he does. But, pages don't really do anything about it. They kind of just like think about it. They kind of watch from afar. They're not knights. They don't, take action with that or anything like that. So I feel like he does, feel that spark. He does feel that desire for you and everything, but he's also being the King of Swords here. So he's, kind of cutting that off by being his pragmatic little self, pretty much. But he does feel that passion for you. He does feel it, but he's not acting on it. He's not acting on it because of the other stuff that he has going on right now. Let's see what else we have here. And we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is about, remaining that persistence, remaining that consistency, basically, even though it's definitely been a battle, even though there's definitely been a lot of conflict and that kind of stuff. But it is about persevering and pushing through, which you can definitely do. You can definitely do dealing with the situation. So I feel like these new moons are just like trying to highlight and illuminate some stuff for you that you need to pay attention to. So, maybe around the new moons, maybe start spending some more time in prayer or meditation. Maybe spend some time journaling, just doing something to kind of like be an outlet to express those emotions or express those thoughts that you normally wouldn't do other times of the month. That may definitely help. Let me get something here from Moonology since we are talking about the new moon. So it seems like a very moon related kind of question. So let's get some moon related kind of answers. We have nothing will come of this situation. Void course of moon. So I feel like basically all the tears that you have been crying lately during these new moons, don't worry about it. Don't obsess over it because it says nothing will come of that. Nothing is going to come of all these tears that you're crying. I feel like if anything, It may be a bigger deal to you because you're making a bigger deal out of, these tears that keep happening. So, just kind of like allow it to come. If you're going to cry, you're going to cry. Try not to make a huge deal out of it. Just go with the flow. And if it needs to come out, let it do its thing. Like I said, journal, pray, meditate, do whatever it is that you can kind of do to work through it, but try not to make a bigger deal out of it than what it needs to be, because it's going to pass. I don't feel like you're going to be like crying at the new moon for like every new moon that happens for the rest of the year or the rest of your life or anything like that. If that's just what needs to happen right now as a part of like your own process and your own way to heal and to deal with things and realize certain things, then that's okay. There's nothing wrong with a good, healthy cry. Sometimes we need that. And, if you have to purge, you have to purge. Like, that's basically what you're doing when you're crying like that. You're purging. And, if that's the time it needs to happen, that's the time it needs to happen. Don't fight it. We also have the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So, this is obviously a tough cycle that you're in right now because you are crying it out. But I feel like once you're done purging, once you're done crying this out, once it's served its purpose, that tough cycle is going to be done. It's going to be over. There's going to be better days ahead. There's going to be good things coming your way. So that's definitely a good thing. Let's see what else we have. And this makes sense too, because we literally just said the end of a tough cycle approaches, and now you got a new start is coming, new moon, and you've been crying at the new moons. So a new start is coming, a better start, a happier start, one that doesn't involve like all this, depression and tears and upset and upheaval and all the other kind of stuff. So, kind of similar to other stuff that's already come through for people tonight. There's a transformation happening. There's a transition happening. So it's kind of like old things that have been difficult and hard are passing, and better and good things are coming. Better days are coming. So that's definitely super positive, super amazing. Your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. So I would say, not just, dealing with your ginger, but, just dealing with other pursuits and passions and dreams and desires in your life. Maybe you need to kind of just like ground yourself a little bit because, Taurus energy, earth energy, that's very grounding. Maybe kind of ground yourself a little bit here and think of ways that you can make practical plans for that, because it's like, it's one thing to have a dream and it's one thing to, have desires and to go for them, but there should be some kind of plan to it. At the same time, we can't just like live up in la la land and everything and just think it's going to happen magically. We also have to like execute plans to do that. It's like me being here on YouTube. I can't just like get on here and just be like, hey, here I am. Like, there has to be a plan, like there's tags that go on in the videos in order for people to find them. And there's making a thumbnail so it looks pretty and attractive on my channel. When people go to my channel, there's a certain plan of attack that goes there. It's about paying attention to when people are on, so I know when to upload videos and post them and all that other kind of stuff. So it's not just about like, turning on the camera, doing a reading and slopping it on there. There's a plan that goes with it. So if there's things that you need to do with your dreams and your goals and your pursuits, go for those dreams, pursue them for sure, but have a plan in place too. At the same time, don't become like married to your plan, because, plans change, life gets crazy. So remember to be flexible and open, but, still have a plan. That's still good too. And we have emotions are running high, super moon. Well, that's pretty obvious because you're crying every new moon. So emotions are definitely running high. But I really do feel like some prayer and meditation will kind of help ground these emotions and just help you have a better understanding as to what's happening within these emotions as a whole. But I think it's safe to say it's definitely tied to your twin. um, you were born under Capricorn full moon. That's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, that's definitely a sign for you right there. Let me get one more here, and hopefully you'll know what to do now with those new moons when they come along. We have a personal issue reaches a resolution, full moon in Cancer. So, I mean, if we're talking personal here, we're not talking business. We're probably talking about that ginger once again. And, it does say that the issue is going to reach a resolution that is going to be taken care of. It is going to be resolved. Um, just like, the tough cycle is ending, a new start is coming. So, I do feel like better days are ahead. Things are going to get better. But you are in kind of like this sticky, icky, transitional kind of phase. And you're both cancers. Well, there you go. And, cancers, you guys are super emotional people. I mean, you guys are water. That's a lot of water, basically. You're very welcome. Hi, Nitro. Welcome to the live. I'm still open for doing a paid reading if anyone is interested in that. Just so you know, if you're new, the way I'm doing my paid readings, since I don't have super chats, is my PayPal and my Venmo information is in the description down below, as well as the options as to what you can order. Everything is either $10 or under. So there is a tall, which would be oracle cards only. There is a grande, which is tarot cards only. And then there is a venti, which is a combination of both tarot and oracle that you can order with your question. So that's kind of the rundown on how I'm doing those things. So yeah, there we go. I really don't know how much longer I am going to be on though, because I've been on for an hour and a half. And like I said, I may go help my mom with like this random cousin from Sweden or whatever. I did already pull these two cards from the Soul Creators Oracle, the Good Kind and Change Maker, Make Waves, for just kind of like your message for this weekend, you guys, as to what's going on. Let me pull a couple more, and then I'm probably just going to wrap it up unless my phone lights up with anybody new. I'll just double check really quickly before I do. But if nobody else is going to be popping up, yes, we're all good there. All good on Venmo. Double check on PayPal. PayPal's all good too. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of these cards, and if nobody else comes in for a paid reading, I'm probably just going to leave it at that for tonight then, you guys. All right. So for this weekend, whatever it is you guys need to know for this weekend, because it's Valentine's Day weekend coming up, we have choose who you are becoming, which definitely seems to be the theme that's going on lately, you guys. There's just changes going on. There's transformation. There's a transition happening for everybody right now, which I believe is totally true. So there may be choices involved because, we've got like this little sign here picking which way to go. So there may be certain choices that need to be made right now. There could be people who are at forks in the road trying to make a decision which way to go. It could be in regards to love. It could be in regards to your career. It could be in regards into where to live, how to deal with a family member, a health decision. It could be about a lot of different things, but it seems like choices definitely need to be made. And either way, there's like this transformation that's happening, and the choices that you're making right now are taking shape. They're helping you really discover who that person is that you're becoming. So it seems like there's a lot of uh, decisions that are being made right now, and I can relate to that because I'm kind of in that place myself where I'm just like, I gotta make some decisions on some stuff, and for whatever reason, I'm just not. um, let's see what else we have here. We have, you are epic. That's a beautiful one. A beautiful message, you guys. You are epic. Never forget that. So, if you have days where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I suck, I don't like myself, don't say that. You're awesome. You're epic. You rule. You rock. So, God doesn't create junk, you guys. You are epic. For sure. And we have, magic happens when you most expect it. So, which is kind of funny because I know a lot of the times they always say expect the unexpected, but this literally kind of is the opposite of that. Magic happens when you most expect it. So I feel like this is basically saying, like if someone is telling you, stop expecting, this, or stop expecting that, like you also can't sit around and say like, oh, nothing good is ever going to happen to me. Shit and crap is always going to happen. Because if you think that, then more shit and crap is going to happen. So you kind of have to start speaking good things over your life. Like, let's say if you're talking about money, right? And you want more money to come into your life. Like, don't sit there and say, like, oh, I'm just going to get bills and I'm going to get unexpected expenses and blah, blah, blah. And if you do, then you're going to get more of that and then not enough money to cover it. But if you start saying things and thinking things like, I'm going to get a raise, I'm going to get a side hustle and make some extra money doing that. People are going to be drawn to the services that I have. People are going to want to help me out when it comes to money. Then before you know it, that magic is going to take place and it's going to happen. So I think it's more so about like, when you're expecting something, don't become attached to it, like cling to it. Like, if this doesn't happen, my life is going to be over kind of thing. Like, don't do it like that. Like, don't like try and smother it. But at the same time, put it out there like, yeah, this can happen. Good things can happen to me. Because if you're not, then, you don't leave it room to even happen in the first place. So it's like, it's this weird, crazy dance, you guys. You can't be all over on top of something, smothering it, but at the same time, you can't like neglect it either. It's a very weird and tricky dance. So I'm trying to figure it out too. And we have cozy up with risk. So don't be afraid to step out and take some risks, you guys. It's easy to play it safe. It's easy to do what's comfortable. It's easy to do what you already know and what you do day in and day out. But sometimes it's good to just, take a risk, do something different. And, don't do it just because, everybody else tells you to do it, like peer pressure or something like that. Don't do it if you don't want to do it. But if it's something that you feel like has been put on your heart that you genuinely want to do, that you genuinely want to pursue, then go for it. Try it. If you fail, it's not the end of the world because God will catch you and put you on the right track with what you're supposed to be doing. But you're not going to know unless you find out. So step up and take a risk. So those are just a little few extra messages there. But I think I'm going to wrap it up here for tonight, you guys. Not even 2 hours, but that's okay. Like I said, I feel like it's been kind of slow tonight, which is all right. Did I put this in the wrong way? Yes, I did. I always grab the wrong end of these boxes. Anyway, I'm going to go help my mom with this cousin thing, this random cousin that popped up from Sweden. So we'll see what happens with that. You're very welcome, Siwin. I'm glad you came on out. You have a great weekend too. Tomorrow I'm going out to lunch with my uncle and my mom and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. But anyways, yeah. So I'm going to wrap it up here, you guys. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Or Thanksgiving. Why am I saying Thanksgiving? Where'd that even come from? It's not even November. Valentine's Day. Why am I saying Thanksgiving? Wow, Heather. Wow, where am I? Oh my goodness, that's so random. Why am I thinking turkeys? That's so weird. Valentine's Day, hearts, not turkeys. Oh, no, I'm just laughing at myself. So yeah, I hope you guys have a very happy Valentine's Day. It's February. And I'm going to try and get maybe up another Valentine's Day type of reading up before the weekend is over, like maybe like love messages from your person or something. And like I said, I'm also going to do like an animal type of video, messages from your pet. And I've been doing a lot of random research on spirit babies too. So I may do like a spirit baby kind of reading coming up in the future as well. So we'll see. I got a lot of different things being brainstormed up in my brain. So we'll see what happens. Enough of my rambling because now I'm just like rambling nonsense going off. So yeah. Anyways, I will see you guys later in the next one. I will see you here Monday night, same usual plan, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that's basically that. So keep sparkling, have a great weekend, and a happy Valentine's Day.